job sanding the parts down, getting them ready for some more paint. I got two more really colors. Well, yeah, two more colors to put on these parts. So I gotta get them scuffed, sanded down, all the silver taped off that I'm gonna leave on the bike. And I'm actually going simpler, really no airbrushing that I know of yet. So I'm really excited about how everything is coming out. I'm not gonna show everything tonight, just kind of come hang out, chill out, and sand some parts down. So right now I'm just taking a Scotch pad and scuffing them up. Really don't want nothing shiny left on any of these parts. And the reason being is paint just won't stick right. Now, if it was within 24 hours, I wouldn't mind that, but it's been over 24 hours since this paint and clear coat's been on these parts. So definitely got to make everything scuffed up. I mean, it's getting there. you ever wonder why painting costs so much, it's all in labor. Especially if you're adding more than one color, going back, taping. It's just very time consuming. So the guys that do this professionally, I give you guys complete props on it, because you want it to come out right. One, you're putting your name on it. I'm putting my name on my own stuff, and I want it to come out looking right. So taking my time with this. Just very time consuming. I will say, every time I do this, I try to learn and get better at it. Take my time. I'm not saying I'm no professional at all, but I'm not too shabby. I mean, I can't draw or anything like that. Most of my stuff that comes out, any kind of design, I'm usually printing it off on a Cricut. Well, actually cutting it out in a Cricut, but you get my gist. You can see where I sanded through the clear coat and to the paint below, because I was trying to smooth all that out. Now, right here you won't see because of the hardware, but I don't want it peeling or chipping. But also, I'm not leaving that silver anyway. So that was no big issue. I just didn't want the parts where I was putting tape to remove clear coat, remove paint. One, I'm out of silver paint, so I'd have to order some more. So that was my only thing I was worried about. Now, technically, I probably should have scuffed these down before taping, but because of the way I was going to tape it with masking tape to make it wider, I knew it wouldn't peel as bad, or hopefully at all. But just really making sure I see no shiny, go all the way around. I still got 4 more parts to still tape off. And this is my biggest paint job yet. Well, when I say biggest, not so elaborate, but the most parts I painted at one time. That's about good. Biggest thing is with these speaker lids is making sure to get all in here. I mean, it's going to be covered up, but again, when one spot starts chipping, it can lead to more spots chipping. So then you end up with a bad paint job and a lot of issues, because then you got to go in and try to fix it, especially if it's noticeable. And we all know we hate chips. If we can fix it, we will. I mean, I don't like having chips, especially big visible ones. Yeah. Especially in the corners, the Scotch pad. Yeah, can't talk tonight, guys. It's the best thing to use. That way you get in those tight little areas and less chance of removing paint. Just about done with that one. There's a few spots left. Within 24 hours, you can spray right over it, but after 24, you need to scuff sand. So that way you're giving it a mechanical bond. Within 24 hours, you got a chemical bond. And trust me, I probably have screamed and all kind of things because of some of the chemical bonding or paint not wanting to stick right. Still a learning process, but that's one reason too. When you painting something, don't go from one company to another. You want it all from the same company, so that way less chance of that happening. But got that one all scuffed up, sanded, got another lid. So let's see, what all parts do I have done? I got the lower saddlebag done. I still got to scuff up that saddlebag, the tank, the fairings all done. And I was not really going to show you guys that, but I think it looks amazing. Doing the barn shield on the top. So as you can see, that is going to be silver. So that's a little bit of a sneak peek. I'm not telling you yet. You're going to have to watch the full video, but it's going to look amazing in my opinion, especially the colors I picked out, and they're not Harley colors. Let's just go with that. But it is going to be 2 more colors going on here. I'm really excited, guys. I'm hoping too this will be the final paint job on this bike. Tell you, I've painted the Sportster now 3-4 times, and the bagger I have painted, shoot, I think this will be the 3rd time, guys. I really do. But again, I'm painting this time everything all at once, not trying to paint the fender and then the fairing and then the tank all at different times. So that way everything kind of flows, matches. I can get my lines kind of matched up. So that way it just goes through the bike and not be like, oh, here's a skull on one side, something on the other. So that's why I'm more excited about doing this. And if you watched my video of changing out the front and rear fender, and as you can see, I do not have a front or rear fender in here at all. That's not even getting painted, but I am changing it out. So if you haven't seen that video, so that is another reason I need it to kind of flow. But we are out in the shop, hanging out, chit-chatting, and sanding parts. So I'm going to get back to scuffing up that bag right there because I'm excited. So I got one done. Actually, I got a full bag done. Well, 2 separate pieces because this one goes with that. Let's see. We got one person in here. Can I read the comments on this? So, I am out in the shop painting. Well, not painting tonight. It's a little cold. And that is a big reason why I'm out here as late as I am, trying to get these parts done, ready. Because next week it's supposed to be extremely cold, and that would delay me on this section because I'm not going to try to paint in 30, 20 degree weather in here, even though I can put a heater. I just don't want to take that chance with the paint. Now, if I could heat it up to about 70 degrees in here and keep it about that, I probably would, but I just feel like that's going to be too much of a risk, and I've already worked this hard. I don't want to mess anything up. But I hope everyone has had a Happy New Year, a Merry Christmas. Mine was great, and now it's back to the grind. As soon as really Christmas is over, I got back to the grind, guys. Because Daytona is not that far off. I mean, we got now a little less than 2 months till Daytona. February 28th, guys. The biggest thing is I don't have time to work on this every single day, every single hour. I wish I did, then it wouldn't be a big deal. But because I'm not, I gotta work late as I possibly can. But we're getting it. It's gonna look great. Hope to see you guys down in Daytona. Always a great time. Get out in cold weather into warmer weather. Been an event I've gone to many, many years. Try to see if I can see any comments. Thanks for the like. But yep, just getting these parts all done. I got a little bit of orange peel, but you won't see that. So once I get this one all scuffed up, I can start taping it, tape the bag. Side covers would be the easiest thing. Then I still got a few more parts to scuff up. So I got them all the other parts sanded, smoothed out, especially the part that Silver's going to be showing. So I got all that sanded. Everything is actually sanded except the side covers. But let's be honest, stock side covers are probably the easiest thing to sand. They're so small. I mean, they're just easy. I can hear all that squeaking as I rub this. So I'm trying to get rid of that squeak too. It's usually telling me that it's still shiny. Too smooth. I think that side's good. Work on the other side. What's up, guys? Got about a few people in here, so I'm just chilling out and sanding down some parts. Yes, I am. So, changing the whole look of the bike. I'm excited about it. So, I still got a few parts that I got to tape off. So that's what I'm working on right now, as you can see. But it's going to look good. I'm not going to give away, though, the paint, the other two colors yet, but it's going to look a little bit different. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a sneak peek. So I'm going with the bar and shield on the fairing, but I got the tank taped up in the back over there. I got the saddlebag taped up. So I do have a few parts that are basically ready for paint. Just need to be wiped down and tacked. So just kind of getting the rest of the parts ready. I actually wanted to say, I think the saddlebags are probably the most tedious, especially if you have speakers, because look at all those nooks and crannies. That's all got to be scuffed. Because if I don't scuff it, paint's not going to stick right. I mean, it might look like it might stick, but give it about a week and it'd be flaking off, chipping, because it had nothing to bite to. So I'll be happy when I get this all scuffed, because I'm not going to have to spray one color and then clear coat it. I'm going to be able to spray both of the next colors because of the way I'm taping and the way I'm going to lay it out. The only reason I did it this way with the silver is to help protect it, so then I have to go back, scuff all this clear coat, give the next paint something to bite to. But because I did not want to tape on top of the silver and then spray the next color and then tape on that and spray and potentially mess up or bleed onto the silver, as well as if I taped on the silver, there was a possibility, if it didn't lay right, for it to peel. And by scuffing and sanding, it makes sure that the actual silver and the clear coat stuck. So it just gives me peace of mind by doing it this way. Now, if I was just going silver, all I would have done is just sand it out with 1000 grit, 1200, smooth it, get all that orange peel, buff it, and been done. But that's just not my style, guys. I couldn't call it a Wesson Customs if I just went silver. I really couldn't. I mean, that's as common as a black bite. Well, I wouldn't say as common, but it'd be just pretty ordinary, in my opinion. I mean, let me know. Let's see. Can I see comments? If I missed your comment, oh, let's see. Okay. Okay. Finally, I was able to read. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I've done my fairing a few times now. If you look back at some of my videos, I mean, it didn't come out bad, but let me kind of show you real quick the areas that I ran into problems. So, and they're still kind of caused me a little problem. So up here where the trim light goes that I run, it was chipping pretty bad. I don't know if I didn't sand it right, scuff it. So right now I have it smoothed out, but I'm not putting silver here, so I'm not worried about it looking like it is. I'm actually going to go with the other color. But that is a big issue that I have ran into. Not so much on the tank. Tank was a whole lot easier. Ah, I didn't even know iHog Rider was in. What's up, man? No, I actually do not need any OEM parts. I've actually have gotten rid of all my OEM parts. What's up, Dying Breed? Shoot, I have missed a few comments. So, let's catch up. All right, let me put you guys back over here. So, let me turn you guys around real quick. Catch up on some comments. But yeah, I'm actually getting rid of a few more parts. If you guys have seen that video, the front fender's getting changed out, the rear fender's getting changed out, the wheels are getting changed out, the exhaust pipe's getting changed out. Yes. Oh, okay. Bringing up that. Okay. Let me back up here a little bit. Okay. Clear coat, yes. I have ran into a few problems with clear coat. I like the 2K. Now, where I get my paint, I go through the coating store to get my paint. Real good clear coat, real good paints, and not overpriced in my opinion compared to some other companies. So I like their stuff. It's a lot of the gun settings, and going with a cheap gun, it's usually the worst mistake. I would say somewhere around $200 to $500 for a good gun, especially shooting clear because of the flow. So air pressure, how much fluid. See, this last time I actually had the fluid open too much, so I got to dial that in a little bit so that way I don't get any runs. I did get a few and had to sand them out, but that's where I like this stage where I clear coat it, sand it down, and then start putting the next coats on so that way I can address that issue of the runs. So when I actually do the final coat, I got to get my gun dialed in so that way I don't get any runs, and try to eliminate orange peel as well. So there are some problems with doing that. I mean, it's a learning process. I'm not a professional at this by no stretch of the mean, guys, but I like doing it instead of paying somebody, I don't know, several $1,000s to paint my bike. I mean, it doesn't come out as graphics. Okay. I have used custom cans before. Not so much on their clear coat, but some of their paints. They do match a little bit more on some of the Harley paints. But when I came across the coating store, now they don't sell cans. They just sell in the quart. Quart's the smallest. But I do, let me show you the gun I'm using. So that is the gun I'm using. It's about, I want to say, a $400 or $500 gun. Snap-on brand. So it's not bad. I've been using this one now for quite some time. So I personally like it. It shoots really, really well. So I can adjust the fluid, the spray pattern, and it's got a good trigger pull. So I got my air regulator, fuel or air filter on there. But if I was to paint on a daily, I'd probably have a blow up paint booth, and I might actually invest in a higher end gun. I think it's, I want to say Sega. Either way, they do a great job. I've never personally used one of them, but they have a lot more features, except they're on that higher end. It's been a learning process. Let's say that. I still don't know exactly what I'm doing. It's been a learning process. So this is actually the first time I'm showing you guys my entire painting process and filming it for you guys. So really just doing the whole build series. So the bike's going to look completely different by the time it's done. But I'm not a professional. I would actually like to take some classes, really. There's several, if you go check out Time Warp Customs, I watch a lot of his stuff. That's where I've been learning how to paint. Trying to get my lines right is, I think the biggest thing I mess up on, especially with some of the, let's see. I've started using Limelight tape. I really like this stuff, but learning not to stretch the tape, how to maneuver it, because I will have it pull back on itself and have bleed through. So that has been my biggest issue a lot of times. On the saddlebags, I had paint rising because of a chemical reaction. And that's where you don't want to go from one company to another company. And if you don't have factory paint with that clear coat good and you end up spraying, especially spray like a primer sealer on it, because if it lays flat, you're good. If you don't and it starts raising, that's where you want to stop. You don't want it to continue. I had to actually take 280 grit and sand it all the way down to where that was all that airbrush was gone. Let's get back to getting these parts a little bit done because it is getting a little bit late. But especially taking Scotch pad and scuffing up all the small areas, as you can see, because if I took even 800 grit, I don't like to sand with 1,000 grit. I think some people might, and spray on top of that. I sanded everything down with 800 grit, so it's a little bit less aggressive, but then in the corners, small areas, Scotch pad does the work. But anyway, guys, I'll catch you on the flip side. Hope you guys have a good night. I'm going to finish these parts out so that way next day or two I can actually get them painted. So I am excited about that. But again, I hope you guys have a good one. Ride safe. Happy New Year and have a good one.